I want to talk about Lil Nas X. Not exactly somebody I would talk about, but this is some pretty big music news, and we're always on top of that here on the morning show with Anthony. He has broken a record that is not easy to break, a record that basically has been intact for, well, a little while, but a while before that one. He now holds the record for the longest running #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100 charts for Old Town Road, 17 weeks in a row. This is the first time that has ever happened, that a song has been #1 on the Billboard charts for 17 weeks in a row. Elvis Presley, the Beatles, Bowie, Nirvana, Metallica, whatever it is, Madonna, you name it, Michael Jackson, name them all, doesn't matter. Bupkis, Lil Nas X, 17 weeks in a row, #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The only two tracks to ever get close were the two that he surpassed. We're both on for 16 weeks in a row. That seems to be our human threshold, is 16 weeks. Was back in the day, in the 90s day, Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men's One Sweet Day. And then a few years ago, Daddy Yankee, Justin Bieber, Luis Fonsi's Despacito. Despacito spent 16 weeks at #1, which matched Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men's record, and now Lil Nas X has surpassed that by a week. 17 weeks. That's huge, huge. Now, the story behind this guy is a fairly interesting one, and if you don't know about it, and it's, by the way, come with some controversy, too, as far as Billboard goes, because it's like, you've heard it by now, right? Obviously. Actually, one person really had me laughing hysterically. Who was it? Rick tagged me. It really made me laugh when this story kind of started to break. And Rick was like, I hadn't heard this song, thanks to WEHM's Anthony. Because we don't play Lil Nas X exactly. But I'm sure, if you've been, oh my Jesus, if you've been to a wedding or a Sweet 16 or a bar mitzvah or a communion party or whatever, I'm sure you've heard a little bit. Till I can't no more. I got the horses in the bag. The controversy was he originally, and I gotta say, this Lil Nas X, a little bit of a genius. Lil Nas X, a little bit of a genius here. He submitted the song to the country charts because it's a hip hop song, but it's also country. So he thought it would be easier for him to crack the country charts rather than the hip hop charts. Hip hop has, forget about it. Hip hop is outpacing every other genre. For every country artist, rock artist, whatever, there's probably, it's probably like a 7 or 8 to 1 ratio on hip hop artists over any other genre of artist. So why deal with the crowded field of hip hop when you can try and break through with a, country trap song, as he calls it, on the country charts, which is kind of a genius move. So the song started rocketing up the country charts, and then Billboard decided, no, this doesn't have enough elements to represent what today's country music represents. So a little bit of a controversy there. What's interesting too is trap artists, which is a style of hip hop, they're separating themselves from just plain old hip hop. So like the subgenre cutting up here is like getting crazy. Absolutely getting crazy. But the thing that I find most interesting about Lil Nas X, if you're unaware of him, the guy was flat out broke, living on his sister's couch, right? When he bought a song, he bought the backing track of this song, of his Old Town Road song, for $30 off of this service online. So basically, creators, they can make tracks and they upload them, and then if somebody winds up using them, you get paid. It's sort of like a crowd-funded way to get paid for the beats that you produce. So it's a sample of a 9 Inch Nails song called 34 Ghost 4. And Young Keo basically took this sample and just put it online. Lil Nas X came across it. He bought it. He recorded his lyrics over it. and then created a Yeehaw challenge. Now, what's fascinating about this is I get a lot of people who come up to me, a lot of musicians, a lot of, local artists, and they go, Ant, how can we make it? We want to make it. We're touring a bit. You want to make it. Pay attention to what's happening in the world. Look at what's happening in the world. Look, I always laugh when people go to me, Ant, how do I make it? How do you make it? I'm laying out a morning show with Anthony vlog, morning show with Anthony podcast, videos up on Facebook. Have you noticed what I'm doing? Do you see what I'm doing? I'm going where people are paying attention. The radio show is the basis of this, but if you haven't noticed, we've expanded far beyond that with vlogs and podcasts and all that kind of stuff. This Lil Nas X, he didn't go knocking on the door of a record label. He didn't go on a 30-city tour to, playing gigs all around, just trying to get on. He didn't go to hip-hop battles, underground hip-hop battles. He didn't do any of that. Those are the old ways of doing things. He went on TikTok, which is a social media app, and he created a meme to essentially get his song across. Wow, Ant, that's amazing. All he had to do was create a meme. He created 50 memes that we know of. He literally created 50 memes, just kept on swinging at that ball until he finally connected with one. And he created the Yeehaw challenge. And that was the thing that got him the attention. That was the thing that started him on his road. The world's attention is on social media. Nowhere else. That is it. Now, I don't know if creating memes or whatever is going to be the thing to get your band noticed or whatever it is. That's besides the point. But the guy sat back for a second and he looked at the world and he was like, everybody's doing these challenges. Everybody's on social media. Look at how big memes are. And he took a swing at all of it from the comfort of his sister's couch on a song that he spent $30 on. It's kind of an amazing story. It is a modern day overnight success story. Although I'm sure if you asked him, it probably wasn't easy. And I actually know it wasn't easy because I've seen a bunch of interviews and a lot of stuff on the guy. Like, he literally was just failing. Whole family screaming at him, living on his sister's couch. And now he has broken a record that the music industry hasn't been able to break since we started tracking these things. 17 weeks at #1 on the charts. That's crazy. That is crazy. But it just goes to show you where we're at in the world. Challenges, memes, social media. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's where the world's going. That's why I get super excited when I see other radio people that are like, "Oh, we don't do memes." Oh, we don't do video. Okay. Please don't. Please don't. Because I'm having a blast expanding into all of these areas and hearing people write to me all the time. I'm in Cleveland, Ant. I found your vlog. So excited to listen. I'm in Jersey. Thank God I have your podcast, blah, 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 so on and so forth. It's where the world is. Don't tell the other radio people that, though, because they're always usually 10 years behind everything else. So, Lil Nas X, #1, 17 weeks. Congratulations to him. It is, by the way, and not only a blueprint for musicians, but for whatever. For whatever you're doing. You're selling insurance, you're selling real estate, whatever you're doing. Exist in the world of today. That's how you're going to be successful.